Back in March, I made a video that covered Funimation's release of Dance in the Vampire Bund. That video, in brief, covered the story of Funimation's controversial plans to heavily edit the series, not only on their streaming platform, but in the eventual home video release. There was an element to the story which didn't quite make its way into that video that we'll be covering today: fansubs. While it wasn't the primary point of discussion when news about Funimation's decision broke in March of 2010, you didn't have to look very hard to find people talking about fansubs. After all, for anyone who was off-put by it, fansubs were an obvious alternative to Funimation's offering. And if they were willing to wait long enough, they would be able to watch the series unedited and in high definition without paying a dime. However, if they wanted to watch the series as it aired, they still had options, but they came with trade-offs. While fansubs for the series were being produced, there was no guarantee that any of them would actually be completed. And even if they were, they might not be uncut. Dance in the Vampire Bund aired in Japan from January 7th to April 1st, 2010, and the first batch of fansubs arrived shortly after the first episode was released. The series was broadcast on 7 different television stations, but the broadcasts were not identical. From the very beginning, the series was edited for Japanese television, with the more erotic scenes being removed or obscured. But that wasn't the case for every single broadcast. There was still one channel that was broadcasting the series uncut, ATX. But the ATX broadcast had a different problem. For whatever reason, the only uncensored broadcast apparently had the lowest quality video, with Hatsuyuki Sub specifically noting that it contained visual noise and particles. Because of this, some fansub groups decided to just work with the edited footage, while others tried to provide the best of both worlds by primarily using footage from another network like Tokyo MX or TV Aichi, and then inserting clips from the ATX broadcast when necessary. And that worked out really well for the first few episodes. Starting with the series' 4th episode, which aired on the network on January 28th, it looks like ATX decided to switch to the same edited footage that every other network was using, meaning that from this point forward, fansub groups would have to use the edited footage. But from that point on, it looked like the biggest problem that fansubbers faced was being able to actually complete the project. Initially, there were several fansubbers and fansub groups working on the series as it aired. However, as it progressed, several of them decided not to continue. But if you were willing to wait and did some digging, you wouldn't have much trouble finding another active project. Inevitably, the floodgates opened once the series made its way to Blu-ray and DVD in Japan. Dance in the Vampire Bund Volume 1 was released on Blu-ray and DVD on March 25th, and fansubbers got to work. And fansubs featuring unedited footage started coming out later in the year. The 6th and final volume of the series' home video release hit store shelves on September 22nd, and the first completed fansubs with Blu-ray footage came online in November. This was the moment that some people had been waiting for from the very beginning: easy access to unedited high-definition fansubs. And if you didn't like how one group decided to translate it, over time you'd have more and more options, because various fansub groups have been releasing their own versions of the series ever since.